Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm not reviewing a movie though. I'm actually doing my first impressions of a game if you haven't noticed the title. It's for the game Bloodborne. Bloodborne is a spiritual successor to three series. I forget, it's called King something, Demon Souls, which is a spiritual successor to that, and Dark Souls, which also had Dark Souls 2, which was the only one in the series. I think the King series game has had sequels, but I never played them. Demon Souls never had a sequel. Dark Souls is considered to be the sequel to Demon Souls, but Dark Souls is really the only one with the actual numbered sequel. And this is basically a follow-up to those. Now, what's different about this one? What makes this one stand out as opposed to Demon Souls and Dark Souls? The thing is that this one is much more fast-paced, but it's not easier. I think it's actually a bit harder, because it's very easy to get ambushed while playing this. Every now and again, just searching around, I'll see an enemy in front of me. I'll go to attack that enemy, but then two more people come up from behind, and then a fight ensues. That's a common thing, is that it's very easy to get ambushed in this game. Similarly to Shadows of Mordor, where ambushing is really not recommended to happen. If an ambush does happen, try to get out of it as quickly as possible. With this, it's similar to Dark Souls and Demon Souls, where you have to attack and then back off, but whereas those two games, it's supposed to be more defensive. This one is more offensive. You have to be very, very strategic while attacking. There's a lot more dodging, not so much blocking, which works. I think this game is more approachable than Dark Souls and Demon Souls. It's not easier. Demon Souls, you can't get lost. Each area has its own little area. It's not open world, just point A to point B in each map. With Dark Souls, I felt that it was really easy to get lost in that. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I feel as though in this, it's much easier to find where to go, because wandering in this, I wandered around a lot in Dark Souls, and I kind of accidentally found things, whereas this one, wandered around, sure, I accidentally found things, but it felt as though I'm supposed to find it where it was. In Dark Souls, it just seemed really, just extremely accidental that I would find a certain boss somewhere, and I went at this one point where I went to the caverns, and then there were ghosts, and I couldn't kill the ghost, and then I legitimately just said, screw this, I'm not playing anymore, and I haven't played it since then. This I keep coming back to. This one is my favorite of all of them so far. I like its gothic tone, I like its atmosphere, I like its graphics. It's not cel-shaded, but it kind of is. And this has probably one of the most in-depth character creators I've ever seen in a game. It gets to the point where cheekbones is something that is editable. I've never seen a game do that before, and it's insane how detailed the character can get. I've seen criticals' character made him look ugly, and then there was another video where they made the character look ugly. Basically, my character looked normal with I forget his hairstyle, but it was red hair and then a white beard. But it doesn't matter what the character looks like, because they wound up getting covered. All of their face gets covered up with all the equipment that you give them. Now back to the gameplay. Like I said, the gameplay, it's much more fast-paced than Dark Souls and Demon Souls. And as I said, it's not easier. Ambushes are common. And also, the enemies are much faster than in Dark Souls and in Demon Souls. Right now I'm on the one boss, I think it's called the Bloodthirsty Demon, I think. And this thing is annoying how hard it is. Not only is it fast, it's obviously, with every boss in these games, dodging is important. Reading what they're going to do next and knowing what to do next is very important. This one, oh my goodness. After a certain point, it gets mad. It's easy to tell, because certain bosses in the game, they'll be one way, and then they'll do an action. They're not attacking, they're just doing an action, and things will just start coming off them. They'll glow a little bit, and then they start getting more aggressive. This one poisons and it's really annoying because it can get to slow poison like that. And it's not slow poison. It poisons really quickly. So having antidote on hand is really important, obviously. But wow, I don't break controllers anymore. I can't afford to break controllers. On my 360, I broke quite a few controllers because I just got too annoyed. But with this is the first game I played in a while where if I get too angry at it, I set the controller down. I say, okay, I'm done right now. I'll play more tomorrow. And I think that's a good thing about this game because I always felt as though while I was playing this that even though I get extremely angry and frustrated at it with its difficulty, it's good difficulty. I love playing it because it is difficult. I can just easily just say, okay, I've had enough for today. I'll exit out. I'll pick up from where I left off tomorrow. No big deal. Have a good day. And I think it's a strong point in the game. That's so easy to just say, okay, I'm done. Because with Dark Souls, I legitimately felt as though I was getting cheaped out. With this, while it is difficult, I never felt as being cheaped out. I feel as though, aside from a few ambush things, that I could learn more, I could progress more, but just be watchful and know when I'm done playing for that day. And that's great. I haven't played a game in a while that legitimately just said, you gotta stop right now, because the game basically, if once I get too angry, I stop focusing. I'm focusing more on my anger and trying to get through quickly as possible, and I'm not doing anything, I just die again. I know at that point, I was like, okay, unless I calm down, I'm not going to be able to beat this boss. I have to stop playing now, not later, now. Or else I'm just going to lose all my blood echoes, similarly to Souls in the Dark Souls and Demon Souls game. And I'll lose them permanently, and then that's 10,000 echoes I've lost. Yes, the experience point system in this is exactly the same as Dark Souls and Demon Souls, tying it against to those games. This could have been called Dark Souls or Dark Souls 3 or Demon Souls 2. It really doesn't matter. They all could have been sequels to one another, where Dark Souls could have been called Dark Souls 2, Demon Souls 2, Demon Souls 3, and then now Demon Souls 4. I just think it was really weird how Dark Souls is the only one that got a legitimate sequel, but whatever. I haven't played it, so I'm not sure how good it is. I heard mixed things about it. Not bad things. None of them were bad, but it wasn't as good as Dark Souls. People were complaining that was a bit easier, but I don't really care. The inventory system in this, I feel, is a bit different from Dark Souls. I don't remember Dark Souls having a limit to how much stuff you can carry. I think it might have, but I'm not entirely sure. With this, as of now, I can only carry 20 blood vials, which is health, 20 silver bullets, which is obviously bullets, and 10 of each quick item. I think some Dark Souls did something similar, but I'm not entirely sure. You can get 5 additional quicksilver bullets, but it takes some health, which if having 20 blood vials is easy to recover. Also, this game is the best horror game I've played in a long time. It's the best survival horror game I've played in a very long time. Just everything's so creepy. There's something, how everything just kind of, the feel of something lurking in the corner. Now, obviously, the enemies respawn at the exact same point, so finding and killing that enemy when they show up right in front. Again, obviously, that's not scary, but this world is just creepy. It feels so unsettling. Everyone is just out to get this character, aside from when they're in the dream, which is where level up, upgrading weapons, getting new items, and all that stuff. That's the only safe zone. Everywhere else, this character's a target. Someone is trying to kill him. Occasionally, finding an aid happens, but that's very rare. Everyone wants this person dead. Knock on doors. People be like, what are you doing now, out now on the hunt? You're not from around here, are you? They say things like that, and there's just this story that's so undescriptive and eerie that it just gives this overarching sense of doom. And it's not like Dark Souls or Demon Souls. There could be this big plot twist at the end that I don't know about, where it really is the apocalypse. That's why this is all happening. Everyone's kind of deformed. But it seems as though it's taking place in an actual world where the character is seeing all these people who are nightmarish, with the mobs of people a la Frankenstein and the Jekyll Hyde type characters and big mutant people and the Lovecraftian inspired bosses. It is a freaking scary game, and the anxiety it gives with how easily it is to be ambushed by these monsters, and how not just the items are effective resource management, but also the freaking stamina. It is so easy to lose stamina in this game. Because having to use an attack can take a decent amount of stamina away, and also using too many attacks while the enemy is about to attack, and then not being able to dodge. I am staring at that stamina meter whenever I'm about to attack an enemy. I have to make sure I do not use all my stamina. That's one of the things I actually try and level up the most, is the stamina. Stamina and health are the two things I would like to level up the most. And also strength, obviously. Leveling up everything is important, but stamina in this game feels way more important than in Dark Souls and Demon Souls, because, as I said, this is a much more fast-paced game. So that stamina bar is much more important to level up than it was in Dark Souls and Demon Souls. Not saying it wasn't important in those two, but in this one, since it's constant moving in a combat situation and dodging and attacking, keeping that stamina bar in focus is important, because once the stamina is gone and an enemy is preparing to attack and not being able to dodge, some of these enemies' attacks are just repeated, and death is just going to happen. They do not stop hitting you. It's not like, get hit, you're temporarily invincible. No, get hit, you can get hit until you die. These enemies are relentless. They are not afraid to attack, and that makes this game so freaking creepy and terrifying, where it's just, I am going to have an anxiety attack if I don't stop playing now. I'm going to have an anxiety attack if I don't beat this boss. I'm going to have an anxiety attack if I run out of stamina again with this guy. The health vials are plentiful, but like I said, only carry 20 every time you go back into that world. But there's something that just feels so fulfilling about it, where Dark Souls, I felt kind of though as I was just like, oh, thank God I beat him. With this, I'm just like, yes, I beat him. I'm cheering myself on. This one feels way more satisfactory. It feels more strategic. I don't feel like I have to do some miscellaneous crap just to beat a boss in this, like I did with Dark Souls. I'm sure as bosses go on, I may have to do more stuff like that. But as of now, I feel as though this game is wonderful. It's the best game I've played so far this year. I haven't played many games to come out this year, other than Final Fantasy Type 0 HD, which is also really good. But right now, this is my addiction. I highly recommend Bloodborne. It definitely gets a solid 5 out of 5. One complaint I have about it is that the load times are insane. Like, I think 45 seconds long to about a minute. Which, in a game like this, where dying occurs often, I just want to get back to the game right away. And I think it's really annoying that I have to wait so long. But that's just the only complaint. The whole world just connects so seamlessly. There's not a lot of load screens. There's an occasional a drop in frame rate every now and again, but I haven't experienced it too much. But like I said, the only real big complaint is the load times whenever the character dies, and you either have to go back to the 100 stream or back to the world to go back and to killing things for fun. Anyways, whoever's out there who's willing to try this monster of a game, has the patience, has the willpower to play it, definitely pick it up. It's not for everybody, but I definitely recommend it, even if you just want to try it. Let these people know that we want more games like this. This game is phenomenal. Anyways, I love Bloodborne. I hope you do too. I hope you guys have a good day. Take care.